Over the past decade, aviation has witnessed several significant events that have deeply impacted both the industry and the public. Each air disaster carries a complex story, lives intertwined, dreams shattered, and sometimes acts of incredible heroism. One of the most haunting cases remains Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, which vanished in March 2014, while en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Despite one of the most extensive search operations in history, the aircraft was never found, leaving the families of the passengers in a painful limbo. This mystery reshaped discussions on flight tracking technology and emergency response protocols, while also demonstrating the resilience of the victims' families, who united in a relentless quest for answers. The following year, the world was shaken by the tragedy of Germanwings Flight 9525. In March 2015, the co-pilot deliberately crashed the aircraft into the French Alps, killing all 150 people on board. This devastating event sparked urgent conversations about the mental health of pilots and the need for stricter monitoring. Families of the victims channeled their grief into advocacy, pushing for reforms to ensure better psychological evaluations in the aviation industry. The issue of aircraft safety took center stage once again in October 2018, when Lion Air Flight 610 plunged into the Java Sea shortly after takeoff, killing all 189 passengers and crew. Investigations later revealed serious flaws in the Boeing 737 MAX's flight control system. Just months later, in March 2019, Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 suffered a nearly identical fate, crashing shortly after departure from Addis Ababa and claiming 157 lives. The recurrence of the same technical failure led to a global grounding of the Boeing 737 MAX fleet and a complete overhaul of aviation safety regulations. The families of the victims became outspoken advocates for increased transparency and corporate accountability, forcing the industry to reckon with the consequences of overlooked design flaws. Tragedies continued into the 2020s. On January 8, 2020, Ukraine International Airlines Flight 7552 was shot down by Iranian defense forces shortly after takeoff from Tehran, killing all 176 people on board. The Iranian government later admitted that the aircraft had been mistakenly identified as a threat during heightened military tensions. The incident intensified international scrutiny on airspace security in conflict zones. In 2023, Yeti Airlines Flight 691 crashed into a river gorge in Pokhara, Nepal, killing all 72 passengers and crew. This was followed by the mid-air collision of 2 tourist helicopters on Australia's Gold Coast, claiming 4 lives and raising concerns about air traffic management in high tourism areas. More recently, the world witnessed further aviation disasters that reinforced the fragile balance between human error, technology, and external threats. On December 25, 2024, Azerbaijan Airlines Flight 8243 crashed during an emergency landing in Aktau, Kazakhstan, with early reports suggesting it had been struck by a Russian defense system. 38 of the 67 passengers on board lost their lives. The beginning of 2025 saw yet another mid-air collision, this time over the Potomac River, where an American Eagle Bombardier CRJ-700 collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter, leading to the tragic deaths of all 67 people involved. However, not every incident ended in tragedy. On February 17, 2025, Delta Connection Flight 4819 veered off the runway during landing at Toronto Pearson International Airport and overturned. While the aircraft sustained heavy damage, all 76 passengers and 4 crew members survived, though 21 people suffered injuries. Delta Airlines later offered each passenger $30,000 in goodwill compensation, emphasizing that this payment would not limit their ability to seek legal action. These events have reinforced the urgency of advancing aviation safety, refining pilot training, and improving real-time aircraft monitoring. Yet beyond technical discussions, they are stories of loss, resilience, and the pursuit of justice. Families of victims continue to fight for accountability, pushing the industry to learn from past mistakes and prevent future tragedies. At the same time, rare survival stories, like that of U.S. Airways Flight 1549's emergency landing in the Hudson River, serve as a reminder that even in moments of crisis, human ingenuity and courage can defy the odds. Thank you for watching, and until the next video,